So you've got your bug out bag all packed. I mean, you got your flashlight, you got your fire kit, even your food bars. So you're ready, right? But here's the truth. Most people feel they're prepared, but they forget some important items. And these items can break or make a real emergency. And forget these, you might suffer. So, what are these 10 items? Hi, I'm Mary Ellen from Potpourri, and today I am sharing 10 items that I often see neglected when people show their bug out bags or their get home bags. And these are things that I think you should include. And these aren't gimmicks. These are small things. Some of them you already have right around your house, but they're not in your bag. And these cover needs from comfort to survival and from medical to morale. And I'll even throw in a bonus item at the end of this video. So grab your bag and your checklist and let's see how prepared you really are. Comment at the end of this video, how many of these items did you have in your bag and do you think you should need in your bag? So if you're missing one of these, now is the time to fix it. Now these items are not in any particular order, but this one, well, it's pretty darn important. Be sure to include anti-diarrheal medicine, like this. This is Imodium. Be sure you have some, because stress, bad water, unfamiliar food, all of that can cause diarrhea. And if you're running away on foot and there aren't clean bathrooms, it's not just uncomfortable, it can be dangerous. That's why I always say pack a small supply of anti-diarrhea medication. Doesn't take up much room. I mean, this can actually keep you moving instead of stopping every 15 minutes. And you might want to include a rehydration mix or an electrolyte mix. Who has a recipe for it online? And basically it's just sugar, pinch of baking soda, some salt, and water. It's pretty easy, but you can also buy these packets. It does follow the WHO formula, and you just keep that in your bag and add it to water in case you would need it. An easy prep that doesn't take up much room. And believe me, being dehydrated is no fun and could also derail your bug out. You know, every step counts until you can't take another step. And one of the things that can thwart your steps is blisters. Now, I always pack blister pads and moleskin, or even both, because I am prone to blisters and they can make my trek absolutely painful. And again, moleskin doesn't take up much room. Another thing I don't often see mentioned, an extra pair of socks. Now, I prefer smart wool socks, but you might have other hiking socks. But again, these are a little bulky. They can take up a little room. So I actually vacuum pack them. I like smart wool because it's a little bit more moisture wicking and can be even warm when it's wet. But having an extra pair of socks can be a godsend. Just remember, your feet, well, they're your transportation. So if they fail, you fail. And just a quick reminder, if you're finding this video helpful, give me a quick thumbs up and think about subscribing to my channel, Potpourri. I really, really appreciate it. Another thing to consider, work gloves. Yeah, gloves. You could even consider having gloves that are fire retardant, like welding gloves or barbecue gloves, if you're planning on making a lot of fires. But believe me, if you are bugging out and doing it in the wilds, then your hands, your fingers, they are a very, very important tool. and you want, again, keep them in tip-top shape. So just pack a pair of work gloves. To me, good gloves don't just keep your hands warm, they keep you functional. And in a crisis, being functional is everything. Next up, a collapsible tin. These are just one of those cheap aluminum tin pans. You can get them at the dollar store or in your grocery store, or you might already have them in your pantry. They're very lightweight. Let me show you how they can fold up, and then you can unfold them. But this could be helpful for cooking, for gathering water, for actually boiling water. They have a lot of uses. And I love that they fold and hardly take up any space. And if they do become, well, let's say pretty black, pretty worn, you can just throw them away and buy another one. It's a low-cost solution with high survival value. Exposure to the elements can wear you down, both physically and mentally. Sunburn might seem minor, but it's not, again, if you're on a long trek. It can drain your energy, accelerate dehydration, and make wearing a backpack absolutely miserable. So always carry a travel size of sun protection, at least 30 SPFs or more. Even in cooler temps, in the midst of winter, I have gotten a sunburn skiing before. So it's still important to carry some sun protection in your pack. And then something else is the bug problem. And I suggest, I don't know if I can find these anymore, but Coleman made these 100 max little vials of bug spray. Such a nice little vial to fit in your EDC or in your pack. Plus, mosquitoes can carry disease like the Nile virus or other diseases. And let's admit it, it can make you miserable, right? Scratching, scratching, scratching. And those bites could get infected. And all of that could be prevented with a little bug spray in your pack. So both that sunscreen, bug spray, can protect you from some big problems. You just can't afford to ignore the sun and bugs when you're in survival mode. Snot happens. So do nosebleeds, tears, sneezes, and even toilet emergencies. That's why I always keep some small packets of Kleenex in my backpack and even on me when I take a walk. Because yes, once I took a walk and I was about a half mile from the house and I had one of those gusher nosebleeds and I'm holding it like this, the blood's pouring over. I have nothing on me except my top. So I'm using my top and maybe some leaves to blot it. And then I had to walk home. And if a car went by, I went like this. I didn't want anyone to see me. All that could have been prevented by just carrying a little pack of tissues. And if you're like me and it's colder outside, my nose seems to run. So again, these come in really, really handy. Another item which can be a real morale booster, hard candy. Now I like they used to be called nips, and I think Brock's has calling them something else. But these last for a long time. I can suck on them and they give me just a boost when I'm walking. And again, some hard candies doesn't take up a lot of room in your backpack. It can help with dry mouth, low blood sugar, and it's comforting during stressful times. And you might want to consider too caffeine mints, because those can give you just a little burst of energy. GPS is great. Well, that is until it isn't. I don't know about you, but I have went out of GPS range, and luckily I had one of these. It's called a map. That's right, paper map. I always include one of my state and my county, and if I was planning on having to go through the wilds, then I might want a topographic map too. These don't need batteries, they don't crash and burn, and they don't rely on satellites. That's right, just carry a paper map or maps in your bug out bag. I remember watching the Urban Prepper on one of his early EDC little, like Altoid kits. And he had a picture of, at that time, his son. He only had one child in the top. And he called this a morale booster. Well, it is, but I think it's a great idea to keep some pictures of relatives and write on the back some identifying information. Like maybe it's your spouse. Do they have any tattoos or birthmarks? Have they had any surgery so they actually have a titanium piece in their body or something else to identify them by? That is really important. And of course, I always say do it for your pets too, just in case you get separated. This way you have a picture and identifying information on you. And you might want to include some phone numbers or other contact information. So those are my 10 items, but I promised you one bonus item. And it doesn't take up hardly any room. It's this. Can you see this little thing? Super glue, a small repair kit. Let me show you. Super glue, duct tape, little scissors, all of those can come in really, really important if you need to have a minor repair done. Again, doesn't take up much room. It all fits in a small earbud case. So it's easy to focus on the big survival gear. Your knife, your flashlight, your water filter. But sometimes these small, overlooked items can be just as important. And the biggest difference if things go sideways. So whether it's a painful blister, a bout of dehydration, getting separated from loved ones, or just needing an extra burst of energy, those 10 items can really come in handy. And if you're missing anything, now is the time to fix it. And now I want to hear from you. Do you think any of these items aren't necessary? Do you think there's other items necessary that many people forget? Please comment below, because we always learn from each other. And again, hey, if this video helped you, please hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber, and share it with someone else who might need this information. I hope you subscribe for more no-nonsense prepping tips from somebody who has been doing it for decades. Stay safe out there and stay ready.